nicest guy in the world. We're about to see, aren't we?
Yeah.
We're about to see live. There he is.
Check the nice.
Here he is.
meter.
There he is, Tim Tebow. Come on, everybody. Yeah, have a seat right over here, bud.
I actually shake everyone's hand, but I'll just say hi.
Good to see you, bud.
So many people in here.
We were talking about you, because everybody, you spent a lot of time here in Nashville.
A good amount.
Everybody's like, man, Tim's the nicest guy ever. And I'm like, there's no way this dude's that nice. And our producer comes in and goes, yeah, he's that nice. He said hi in a very nice tone. So look at you, man.
It was all about the tone. Perfect.
You good?
I'm great. How are you guys doing?
We're good. We're good. Excited. I got a call and say, hey, Tim wants to come on the show. And so I think we have a mutual, Graham. You know
Yes,
Graham?
I do.
Graham was like, they can't get a hold of you. Can Tim come in? And I was like, yeah, dude, would love for Tim to come in. So it's good to meet you, man.
Absolutely. Nice to meet you. Hey, congratulations on everything.
Oh, thanks.
Okay, he's nice.
On what?
Like it's just this tone. He does have a nice tone.
Yeah.
It's like the Tim Tebow tone.
Do you feel the pressure, Tim, to always be super nice all the time since that's your reputation? Like all the time. Sometimes you got to have it like you're
Because like
sick.
sometimes you're probably
No,
not.
I don't really feel the pressure to be nice all the time. I will say I do feel sometimes pressure when you're say if this is a meet and greet or something like that, and it's everyone's one opportunity with you when they leave, and that's going to be your reputation that they're going to spread to their family and their friends. But for me, it's the 200, 300, 400th person in line. But you got to remember that every one of those opportunities could be a life-changing opportunity. You never know what that person is going through. So I do feel the pressure of trying to be a positive role model or set a positive example for those people, because so many times you'll hear that, man, just that one thing you said to them, or you know, you look great, or God bless you, or how are you doing, or what can I do for you? That little saying that you say to them could mean everything, because you never know what someone's going through. And so I would say I do feel pressure to always be interested, be involved, and truly care about that person, because it could be a life-changing moment for someone.
Tim Tebow is here. The book's called This Is the Day. Tell me about this book.
Well, it was something that was on my heart for a little while. I've been around so many people that were one-dayers. One day I'm going to do this. One day I'm going to write a book. One day I'm going to tell my family I love them. One day I'm going to go on a mission trip. One day I'm going to start to tell my parents that I care about them. One day I'm going to get right with my family. All these one days. And, for me, I just never wanted to have that mindset. Never wanted to have that life. I wanted to be every morning I wake up, when the alarm clock woke up, it wasn't like, oh, shoot, I got to get through the day. It was, no, this is the day. This is my chance. This is my opportunity. I believe every single one of us have a dream, have a passion, and have a purpose. And I want to wake up and be able to go live mine out every single day. And then I think I was also inspired, too, by my dad getting Parkinson's, who was my biggest role model, biggest hero. And he lived this message out so well in front of me. And that was just one more reason that I wanted to share this with people is, and, a lot of people will say, but what? How could you encourage people to do that when they fail, fall short, get knocked down? Well, that's part of it. But you can go out and you can pursue your dreams, pursue your passions, pursue your purpose. It doesn't mean you're going to be successful at everything, but it does mean we don't have to live with regret of not trying and let the world define us, because a lot of times they're going to try. Hey, listen, you're not going to make it, so you shouldn't even try. And I'm just not a believer in that. I'm a believer that if we truly believe in living life to the fullest, not just hashtagging it, then we are going to go after our dreams, our passions, and try to live with purpose.
Talk about your faith and how you've implemented it into this book.
Well, hopefully I implement my faith into everything I do in life, and that will be a piece of this book. And I think it is the premise for this of, more than anything else that I do is I want to live a life of purpose where I'm truly living out what I believe is the most important thing in life, and that's loving God and loving people. Truly, and I believe the greatest form of love is to choose the best interest of another person and act on their behalf. And so I want to have a life where I chose the best interest of a world for hurting people and act on their behalf. And our foundation, our mission statement is to bring faith, hope, and love to those needing a brighter day in their darkest hour of need. And so whatever area that is of people that are hurting, we want to be there to fight for them, whether that's orphans, whether that's kids with special needs, whether that's sick kids. We want to find something to fit their need, whether it's our hospital, whether it's adoption aid, whether that's bringing them into full-time orphanages, whatever it is, we want to be there to love them. And, when people can't fight for them, we're going to show up and we're going to fight for them.
Tim Tebow's here. He's got a book called This Is the Day. Reclaim your dream, ignite your passion, live your purpose. You talk about orphanages. Amy was doing a mission trip in Haiti. That's how she met her kids. She was in an orphanage, and she adopted 2 kids from Haiti through her mission trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like 2004 12 was my first time to Haiti at the end, but yeah, and I've been going ever since. But we just got our kids about a year ago.
Oh,
but I
that's so
actually
cool.
work with My Life Speaks
They're
in
so
Nepali.
great.
Yes,
I
so
love
I know
My
you've
Life
been there.
Speaks.
I know.
Yes.
Mike
They're one
Olson's
of our
amazing.
partners there.
I know.
Yeah, I love them.
Like they're doing great
Mike
things.
and Missy are so sweet.
Yeah,
They're
which
the
they
best.
cover orphans, and they're a special needs
Yes.
orphanage. And in Haiti, if you have special needs, a lot of times it's tragic, but those kids, they can end up just as trash or on the side of the road.
It's true.
And they take these kids in and give them a
They
family.
do. Mike and Missy are amazing, and like you said, a lot of times they're viewed as trash
Yes.
in Haiti, and so we've literally picked kids up out of wells, tied to chains, literally tied up, sitting there with special needs, and just left there. And Mike and Missy are awesome partners where they do so much, and they're really changing the culture in the community. And the first time they held Night to Shine, which is a prom for people with special needs there, all of the villagers were outside. They're watching like, why are y'all touching these kids with special needs when we carried them in? Because they're literally coming to us like, dude, you're going to be cursed, right?
Yeah.
After touching them, like, you're going to be cursed. And then the next day they see us and they're like, you're not cursed. And it totally changes their perspective. And they're doing that literally community by community there in Haiti, where people are realizing that, wait a second, okay, maybe we're all created equal. Maybe we all have a plan. Maybe we're all loved. Maybe we're all special. And it's really cool what they're doing.
When did you become so motivational to be around? Was it high school, junior? Like, were you an 8th grader walking down the hallway like, all right, boys and girls, we got this today. We're going to rock some Algebra 1. Like, when did this
I woke
happen?
up
So I
today.
definitely probably wasn't in 8th grade doing Algebra 1. I mean, no, I don't know. I don't know if I am. I just think that I want to be someone that lives on fire and loves life. And, my dad told me when I was 8 years old, if I love what I do, if I'm passionate about it, and I'm willing to sacrifice, you'll be different than most people, and it'll be contagious. And so I've always tried to live my life that way. Find things that I love, that I'm passionate about, and then go after it. Be willing to sacrifice for it, and don't just be okay with the status quo. Don't be okay with what people say. Don't be okay with just being comfortable. Live outside your comfort zone. Be comfortable not being comfortable, and pursue it. And it'll be amazing how, there's not a lot of people that necessarily love that, and you'll be contagious. And ultimately, you want to be a leader in trying to lead people in the right direction, and that's a goal.
Tim Tebow is here, and you deal with the polars, meaning people in sports. I'm a big sports guy. Like, you were.
Me too.
You're right. You're like you're a phenomenon, but you're so polarizing to people. They're like, Tim Tebow's the greatest thing to ever happen, or why is Tim Tebow playing baseball?
Oh my
or
gosh,
what a terrible quarterback. What the greatest quarterback? Like, how do you deal? Because really, nobody's middle of the road on Tim Tebow.
They're not.
They love you, or they don't dislike you, or they dislike the idea that you're different. How do you feel? How do you
It's
deal
funny.
with?
Like for baseball games, they will cheer me or boo me, but I'll literally be looking at the same people like in the stands, and I'll see a few of the faces, and they'll be like booing me or saying things that I wouldn't repeat here. And then literally after the game, or if I'm going by their section, hey dude, can I get a selfie? Can I get a picture? I'm like, you're literally the same guy that was chanting F you Tebow. Like, I just saw your face. Like, are you kidding me?
You probably still take a selfie with them though, don't you?
Sometimes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like,
And I'll just like throw in a, we'll have a blessed night, man, And they're like, oh man, probably shouldn't have said that.
like the news stories, like when you touch somebody and they come back, the guy that was that was choking or whatever's happening at the ball game.
Yeah, Brandon's actually his name.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So you go over to him and you help him, and he lives, and they're like, Tim Tebow's a saint. Like, you read this stuff and you have to go, man, they're putting me. It's just so crazy that people. And I wrote about you in my last book. I wrote, hey, listen, most humans are human. Like, we have our good sides and our bad sides, unless you're Tim Tebow. Even I made that joke. It's got to be kind of a tough standard to live up to, right? Or do you just do you and you try not to be affected by that?
It's a really good, hard question to answer. As truly, I just try to be me and focus on trying to do right and loving people and caring for people. And doesn't mean you always feel that way. You don't. And sometimes you feel the pressure of it. But then I'm like, Dude, there's no pressure. I'm not perfect. I serve one that is, and I try to love people as best I can. But also what I try to do is I try to show my weaknesses too, and try to show that it hurts and you've fallen down. And not in this book, but the book before, Shaken, I titled it Shaken because I'm not perfect, because there were storms that hit me in life that they did shake me, and it felt like everything around me was shaken, because there were times when I thought, dude, I'm going to go to the NFL, win about 7 Super Bowls, call it a day, get married, have, kids, and it's going to be awesome. And wait a second, it's, kind of got knocked down a few times and everything else, and kind of sometimes dreams feel shaken a little bit. But in the midst of being shaken, what do you have to hold on to? Who are you and whose are you in the midst of that? And so that was something that I try to share with people as well, that it's not always beautiful. It's not always sunshine and rainbows, but there can be faith, hope, and love even in the midst of your trials.
How do you play baseball and study baseball and then go talk about college football and study college football? Like, it just seems like a lot. It seems like you have to always be reading something.
It is, but I love it, though. I really do. It's just, it's so fun. Baseball was my first love. It is the first thing. I was 4 years old. My parents signed me up for T-balls on the White Sox. Now I had number 35, just like Frank Thomas, and I was crazy intense, and everybody's out there, and they're like looking for 4-leaf clovers or worried about their snow cones. And for me, it was just, I loved it. And honestly, I thought most of growing up that I was probably going to go pro out of high school for baseball. And then, of course, how awesome college football is. That kind of gets a hold of you. And I go to the Swamp and all these other stadiums. I'm like, this is so sweet. And I got to be. And then I'm torn between the two. And then Mom's like, hey, listen, I would really love for you to get a college education. And so, you're a Southern boy, you listen to Mom. And so I went to Florida. But the whole time I almost every year I was like, oh, almost played for the baseball team at Florida. And then when I was in Denver, I became friends with a lot of the Rockies, and I was just like, man, this looks so sweet. I got to try this. And then actually, a couple of years later, I was in New York meeting with all my agents and everything, and they were pitching me all these opportunities that I had, and I just didn't love them. And there were all these awesome opportunities where you could make a whole lot of money, and I was like, yeah, that's cool, but I don't know. For me, it was like I was selling so much of myself to do, and I didn't want to do it. I want to do what I love. I want to do what I encourage other people to do. And so I was like, hey guys, well, what do you think about baseball? And they all truly looked at me like, no, he's lost it. And it's like the agents, like, you want to be nice, but they're like, that's ridiculous. Like, you couldn't do that. Why would you even try? You're going to embarrass yourself. And so they kind of started telling me this stuff. And I have my, there's none of the baseball agents in there. And I say, well, you get one of the baseball agents. So they walk down the hall, get one of the baseball agents for CA, bring him in. And he actually was my agent up until 2 weeks ago when he took the GM job for the Mets. And he was like, well, listen, it's going to be really hard. It's going to be a process. You're going to need to do this, this, and this, blah, blah, blah. It's going to be extremely difficult. But if you want to give it a chance, I'll. And I said, well, you at least watch me. And he was like, sure. And so I had to convince even the people that were closest to me about it. But you know what? I think that was exciting to me because it was something I loved, and even the people around me were doubting me. So is it a tough transition after picking up a sport you haven't played in 12 years? Heck yeah. That's really hard.
Like, so when you say you had to show them, does that mean you had to go get your mitt and your bat and you
in
went?
The hallway?
Not at the moment, but yeah, a couple weeks later, I flew down to Boca Raton, Florida, and played versus a lot of Latin guys that were about to get signed, and that were awesome, by the way. And and so after that, he was like, okay, maybe we'll look at you a little bit more. And so I had to start by convincing the people around me. And it's been a really fun journey so far.
You making the Mets this year?
I hope so.
You think so?
I hope so.
You gonna start AAA?
Yeah, that's what they told me so far.
But you feel like you're gonna make. You feel like you'll make the Mets this year, right?
I feel like I'm making strides. I feel like last year, the first day of the year, I broke my ankle, and that kind of knocked me back. And then I had to bounce back from that. And then I felt like I got on a good streak. And then my last day, I broke my hand, and so had surgery and coming back from that. But I feel so good. I feel like I'm improving. I'm excited about the challenge. It's so fun. I mean, people are like, are you really enjoying it? You're riding on buses all around the country. And well, obviously that part's not that fun, but playing every night and competing and, on this journey, yeah, it's so fun. I love it every day. And yeah, do I know if I'm going to get there? I don't know. but I hope so, and I promise I'm going to bust my butt to get there.
Tim Tebow is here. His book is called This Is the Day. Your freshman year, you played. I'm a huge Arkansas Razorback fan.
I'm sorry.
From Arkansas, I know. And you played. You know,
I was just here a couple weeks ago. I really like y'all's coach, though.
I do too. Coach
a
Morris
good
is
dude.
awesome. Yeah,
He is a good man.
He, you were playing Arkansas your freshman year, and they were bringing you in to just run the ball in the end zone. Your freshman year, they'd be like, "All right, we're inside the 5. Bring in Tebow." Boom! And I was like, "I hate this guy. He killed us." But it was. And then you won the Heisman. Were you the first homeschool kid to win the Heisman?
Yes, probably still only.
The only
that many homeschoolers do.
How did you play football in high school?
They passed a law, I think, in 96 or 97 in Florida that said any homeschooler can play any public school in his or her area or any private school that will accept them. So I went to at first my brothers played at a private school, and I played there through my freshman year, and then they're like, hey, we'll never let you play quarterback. You're going to play linebacker and tight end. And I was like, okay, we'll see you guys later. And so then I went to another school, a public school, and we moved into that area so I could play in that area. And so I played for them, and yeah, it's kind of, and then they started so many fights about homeschoolers shouldn't be allowed to play and everything. And now I think it's called the Tebow bill in like 26 states or something.
The Tebow. You have a bill
wow.
called
that,
the
yeah.
Tebow bill. Wow. Where do you keep your Heisman trophy?
I think it's at my parents' house.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like behind all the wedding photos and everything, or in front of them, my sister's wedding photos, and it's just like kind of in the back, like just hanging out back there. And so, yeah.
But dude, listen, I'm glad you came by.
Yeah.
I hope you sell tons of. I'm inspired right now. I want to run
know.
through a wall. Tell me which wall to run through, Tim. I will run through any wall you tell me.
Well,
to run
listen,
through right
you
now.
have too many sponsors up here, so I don't want to.
It costs me some money to
It
run through the
would,
wall.
yeah, that wouldn't be good.
This is the day. Reclaim your dream, ignite your passion, live your purpose. Tim Tebow here. Check out the book, and it's even if you risk failure. That's what I hear from you. Even if you risk failure, like it's okay to fail.
It's absolutely okay to fail in pursuing something that's truly on your heart, because what's going to be the greatest form of regret? When you're 50 years old, are you going to look back and say, you know what, man, when I really gave everything I had, I regret that? No way. I don't think that at all. But you are going to regret not trying. You are going to regret not giving it your all. You are going to regret not telling the people around you loved them, not going after your dreams, not going after your passions, not living your purpose. I do think we're going to regret that. And I want people to go out there and pursue their passions. You know what? You get knocked down, it's okay. Get right back up and keep fighting.
A wise man once said, and we'll end on this quote, I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never going to keep me down.
Oh, I
Wise.
see
Do you know
what you
that?
did there.
That wise man, Mr. Chumbawamba. That's right.
I just Amazon Prime this.
What? You just bought the book during the interview?
This is the Day by Tim Tebow. I actually bought 2 because I was like, well, I could probably give it
She
as a
bought your
gift.
books during the interview. That's the first time that's
There's
ever happened on this show.
Thank you. Your order has been placed.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Look at that. But then she gets a refund as soon as you walk out. That's how it works. It's a whole game we
I
play.
love it.
Yeah. Tim,
No,
it's a real pleasure to meet you,
real.
bud.
Yeah, such a pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me on, and hopefully that book is encouraging to you.
Boom. And I have one to give to someone as well.
There you go. All right, Tim, good to see you, bud.
Thank you,
Tim
guys.
Tebow, everybody. There he is.
This is a Bobby Bone Show.
Hey.